Good to see everyone. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I remember one time I when I was first doing the live shows, if you remember, like back, it was like 2019 or so. And I used to use a lapel mic, and the camera's kind of a distance away from me, but I didn't have it plugged in. So it was like using the phone. I was using my phone to stream, and like the audio quality was so bad. It was just horrible. It was just so echoey. It was so terrible. So I always wonder if I can actually be heard okay. Appreciate you guys stopping by. I may try to do this as a half-hour show. I'm not sure, because I feel like people watch the show a lot after, and I feel like they don't go through the whole hour, and I totally understand that. So I'm going to try to be a little more snappy and do half-hour shows. We'll see how that goes. And if someone could share this into I didn't have time to share this into the Bob Ross group. If you could, that'd be great. Not everyone checks their emails. I sent it kind of last minute. I had every intention of sending this earlier. I also had a big presentation line, but I'm going to turn this into a YouTube video. So if you've got something good to share on this topic as well, of convincing people how to do direct mail, please share it, because then you'll be on the regular YouTube video. I'll share your expertise as well. But I have some really good strategies and some things that I do to convince people that direct mail works. And of course, it doesn't always work for everyone, and I'm very clear about that. And even in one particular industry, it may not work for you where it works for someone else in the same industry. Every situation is different. But a lot of people just have preconceived notions about direct mail, or they're hesitant. It's expensive. And you may be a business owner yourself watching this, and you're not totally sure direct mail is going to work. It's a big investment. And so this is good for you too. So it's good for those of you thinking of doing your own campaigns and you're just not sure if postcard marketing will work. And also for those of us that are professional marketers and we're out there selling direct mail or helping other businesses put together campaigns, we need to know what to say when someone says postcard marketing doesn't work. I don't believe in it. I tried it before. It didn't work. They're just unsure. There's some ways to handle that we're going to talk about. Earl says, convince me if you can. I also bought a silent mouse so you don't hear the clicks, which I think is cool. I will do my best, Earl, to convince you that direct postcard marketing works. Mark Williams is here. Good to see you, Mark. Oh, Sarah Palia made it. Me and Sarah have been together 17 years. Yesterday was 17 years. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate that. By the way, I just have not replied. We are rocked to the hilt. Your cards, your clients, Jay, Bill Stanley's cards, they delivering today? Yeah. Today. They will be delivered today. What's that? Okay, delivered today. Sorry about that. Thank you. Appreciate that. Nick Jack Neighbors, thank you. David Vasquez is here. It's great to see you, Mark. B2B still working this revised hybrid. Yeah, people are going back to work. And I think, remote is, a lot of people are forced to go back to work now too. So yeah, B2B is good. B2B is good. Thank you, Anna. Congratulations. I also wanted to show this. This is funny. It shows up in my Facebook feed. I get this ad, probably because it's around tax season, but I get this ad. It's hilarious. I'm going to show it. It was literally a state of the industry tax, for like accounting professionals. Obviously, I'm not an accounting professional. I don't know why they're displaying it to me, but Tax Growth Con 2023. And I'm like, this is like, I have friends that are accountants. They're going absolutely crazy. They're working like 20-hour days. Any of you that are in the tax industry will know, like, this is the worst time to hold a tax summit, even if it's virtual. Like, to hold a tax summit convention thing at the very height of tax season is so stupid. Like, these people don't even have enough time to breathe, and you want them to sign up and go to some summit thing. Like, that is the dumbest. If they held this a week after tax season, like if they held this in late April or something, that would be fine. But holy crap, how stupid. Like, this is just a colossal stupidity, in my opinion. Besides running it, the ads to me, like I'm the last person for tax week. It's so stupid. I just wanted to share that. I also saw a really dumb billboard. I should start doing just I have a collection of really dumb advertisements I see. And I know marketing is tough and we're not all marketers, but sometimes it's just so stupid. Sometimes the stuff is just so dumb. I also want to shout out Rob Smith. I'm always shouting him out. I don't think I showed this maybe I did in the last episode. I can't remember. Maybe we're going to show him power washing, but this is a campaign he did, which is really good and it's performing well. I don't know if the guy will be on the live, but he has a laundry service. But we sent this to a targeted list of apartments he's in Long Island, but we targeted the list down. It's laundry service, and he does he picks up and drops off. I can't remember what he has a specific advantage that other laundry services don't have, but whatever. It's a beautiful card. I just want to share it. And he's already getting responses. So it just went out. He's already getting responses, already getting deals. And he said it was cool to share this 24-hour next day drop off. That's pretty good. Guaranteed full service laundry. Beautiful card. Like this is just really nice. I just want to share a really top-notch pro design. And then we should get into our topic. Yeah, no problem. It's just the emails. Man, we are rocked today. Yeah, is it so stupid? Yeah, you're in a text, right? Mark, you're in a text. This is the dumbest thing. And you look at the comments, and people are like, "This is like you are crazy." Like this sounds great, but text during the height of tax season, like who has time to go to some convention, even if it's virtual, to watch like a 5-hour thing? Holy crap! Crazy is it? That's bad advertising. We should start poking more fun at bad advertising. Yeah, he probably would too, but he's targeting specifically apartments. But like, what a great service, and just what a beautiful card. What a really fantastic card. Just a really, really, really great card. Let's talk about. Let me throw a banner up here. I should have had these prepared. I'm just going to throw it up here for a while. Convincing people that direct mail works. That postcards work. Postcards work. Let's do that. I was hoping Nicole Wiltshire would be on here because she specifically asked this. But I had a good example of this happen really recently. And it's a good example. Oh, and there's a funny example too. Oh, I wish I had the card. I don't. I should have it around here, but I don't want to waste time looking around for it. I'll show it on the YouTube video. I had there are many ways to handle this question coming up, and it may be just yourself. You may be wondering yourself, how do you convince yourself or someone else that postcards work? Because you maybe you don't know they work. Maybe you hear that they work, but are they actually going to work? I'll tell you a good story on my Facebook. There's a realtor friend of mine. She's a realtor. She's in her like second or third year, and she's a successful realtor. She works really, really hard. She gets almost all of her business just from her being loud about it. She'll post on Facebook frequently. She's a really hard worker. She gets referrals. It's pretty much organic referrals, but there's a limit to that. As a realtor, there's a limit. You can only sell so many family and friends and word of mouth referrals, like especially in the first couple of years, like you hit a wall. And she started during the pandemic, which started to get crazy. And a couple of years ago, like 2021. And so market, like people, like they were selling homes like nothing, like everyone was selling homes like crazy. Interest rates were really low. People were moving. It was just a great combination. Now that has slowed down in most areas. That has slowed down. And now you actually have to go back to fighting for business. So all these agents are looking for, what am I going to advertise? Well, she was like trying to figure out how she's going to actually advertise and maybe put some money in to advertising to get people that are not your word of mouth referrals. So she's very vocal on Facebook. But she has like most agents, she has her personal Facebook, but also has a business Facebook. And she is learning and she's posting. She's like, I'm thinking social media is the way to go, but no one ever sees my Facebook posts. And she's right. If you have a business Facebook page, which is what Facebook wants you to have, people don't see those posts. Like they rarely, unless you are a super top fan and you're interacting and Facebook says, okay, you want to see these posts. Most people will never see your posts. You look at a realtor's Facebook business page and it's just a 1 like, 0 likes, and you have to constantly post, and it's annoying because you're not getting any track, you're not getting any visibility, because Facebook wants you to advertise. They want you to boost the posts. They want you to run ads. Most people don't know how to really make that work. They try boosting an ad. It doesn't do, it's a dead end for most realtors. So they start thinking about it. And she's like, Facebook, no one ever sees it. No one wants to hear all your business stuff on your personal page. So there's a problem with that. So she's like, postcards. So she makes a comment. She says, postcards. Well, I think they just get thrown out. And then all these people, like friends and stuff, yeah, postcards are stupid. I got a postcard the other day, so stupid. I just toss them. And that just further reinforces to her, I'm using this as an example, that postcards don't work. That is stupid. And I think she was replying like, yeah, that's what I thought. And I was like, I just throw these out. I'll just do what I do. If I lived near here, I'd be buying a house from you and stuff like that. And that kind of poisons people talking about direct mail. And it like reinforces, oh crap, I'll never spend any money on direct mail. So funny story. I do these community cards where I wish I had this set up. I do community cards in my community where she lives as well. And she's been here forever. Kids have gone to school. You want to get listings from the community you live in, right? You don't want to see other realtors getting listings. Like you want to be the realtor in that community. Well, I'm doing these community cards where I put together coupons of local businesses. It's promoted. I promote it on like my Village live show. I promote it on Facebook. Everyone gets really excited for these. And I had a realtor previously that was also from this area get an ad on the back of the card. And naturally I'm going to ask them as well. Like first, like, do you want to be on here again? Well, this realtor that sees this card coming out is like, Jake, she goes, I want to be on there. I got to be the realtor on there. And I'm like, I said, well, wait, I said, you posted and said direct mail doesn't like, you don't like postcards. So I'm not giving it to you. I give it to the other person. You posted it. Was when you think about that, do you really want someone else to be the one? People are excited about this postcard. It's got value. It's going to everyone, every single home in the whole community. Do you really want another realtor on there when you live in here? And suddenly start to think, oh crap, maybe postcards do have some value. Are you necessarily going to get a listing out of it? I don't know. But that, for example, is a good revelation of, oh crap, that kind of does make sense. I want to be in every house. I don't want some other realtor doing that. So that was a good, and eventually we worked something out where we did end up getting her on the future cards. But I have a really good, I got to lock the door. And I'm going to give, it's great to see Bruce here. And I have some really good, so I have a really, really good strategy I'm going to share with you on how to directly confront these questions. Besides that kind of good story that was fun to talk about. Char Daddy is here. It's good. How else can you get an ad into prospects in? Okay, so I recently post picture of lots of postcards, right? Sometimes I post on my Facebook this and that. And someone says, one of my friends says, so this is a great way to handle the question of postcards don't work. One of my friends says, do these really work? A lot of my friends don't really know what I do. They really don't have any clue. I think I deal drugs or something, or they have no clue. But she says, Jake, do these really work? Like I think she said, Jake, do these really work? Because I just tossed these out into the recycling bin. And then like 2 or 3 other friends of mine, like, same here, girl. I just toss them in the recycling bin. I just toss them out. But I had to respond, right? So I had to respond. Here I'm responding to someone who's not even a business owner, not even this person, but someone who's seeing it from a consumer end of something. And you think, most of us as consumers think junk mail. Like, I just toss this stuff out. Just toss this out. I just toss mail out. How can this work? I toss all this stuff out. Why would someone spend money to send something in the mail? I just toss it out. It's junk. So I have this like chain of people. I just toss all this out. It's waste. And here's a great way. Here's a fantastic way, especially if you know that something that person is interested in. And you can kind of find these things. So if I talk with prospects, I can usually spot something that they're interested in. You can figure it out, or you can use some default. But here's an example. I told one girl, Heather, I know she's a runner, and I know that she likes Brooks Ghost sneakers because I know she'll post Brooks, and I run periodically as well. And I like Brooks Ghost as well, but I knew that she knew Brooks Ghost. So the first thing I thought to mind, and I said, Heather, I said something like, let me ask you a question. I wrote this in Facebook or whatever, but this is exactly how I'll handle this normally. Let me ask you a question. If I know that they are into something, I said, if Brooks sent you a postcard with a 40% off coupon for the new Brooks Ghost, would you just toss that in the recycling bin? They would just into the recycling bin it goes, right? And I think I said to another person, yeah, so that's how I handle that one. And it would turn into, oh, yeah, well, maybe you're right. I would keep that, because the point is, you throw out things that are junk mail, but when you directly say something to someone that you know they'll like, you could default to things like your favorite restaurant. So if your favorite restaurant, your favorite place to eat, sent you a postcard in the mail for buy one entree, get one half off, or a free appetizer, you're just into the recycling it goes, right? Into the recycling it goes. That puts a visual situation in their head that, oh, that's right. I wouldn't throw that out because that would be relevant to me. Like, all of that is clicking them. That's how I personally handle many objections. I do not combat objections with a rebuttal, like something that, it's not a game. You're not at a war. It's a losing bet. You're not in a conflict here. You have to use some finesse. So I put that kind of visual scenario where something they really like arrives in their mail. You're just going to toss it. You're not going to toss it. You're going to keep it because it's something you like. So there's people out there that want what that business has. There's a lot of people that don't. There's a lot of people not looking to sell their home right now. This means nothing to them. There's a lot of people that don't want to buy a car now. There's a lot of people that hate the local pizzeria. They hate it. They'll never use it. But there's some people that are hungry right now. There's some people who love that pizza. There's some people that are thinking of buying a house. There's some people who are thinking of buying a car. And if that business, whatever business that is, can get their message or an incentive or a deal or run a promotion out there to those people, then those people want to get it. And there's a good chance that those people will respond. So how I handle the other girl, Sarah, not my Sarah, a different Sarah, who had said, like, Jake, this is really where I throw all this out. I said something like, I use this a lot. When someone says, I don't, but how many people can respond? Not many people respond, things like that, if they get that kind of objection. Sarah, have you ever looked at I'm using whatever person's name. Sarah, have you ever looked at a billboard and not bought what was on the billboard? Have you ever watched a TV commercial and not bought something on the commercial? Have you ever seen a Facebook ad and just swiped by it? Have you ever done that? And it starts the wheels turning that, yes, advertising is all over us. And yes, we throw things out. Yes, we see commercials and we don't look, we don't respond. Have you ever, because in some people's eyes, word of mouth is the biggest thing. So I'll say also, has someone ever recommended something to you? Like someone you trust and they recommended a service and you didn't buy it. Has that ever happened? It has. Even the strongest form of advertising, word of mouth. Many times, most of the time, you did not go buy that. You didn't buy everything you saw on TV. You didn't buy every thing you saw on a billboard or heard on the radio. In fact, by far, most advertising that you see every single day, you don't act on. This is true for everything. There is no advertising on planet Earth where every single person responds to it. There's none. Think of how many hundreds of thousands of people go by a billboard every day or hear a radio ad or hear a TV and act on it. It's a very small percentage. It's the same thing with direct mail. Direct mail just has this ability to reach a more precise audience. You can actually get it into the hands of people who are more likely, instead of just blasting it all over the radio, you can send direct mail just to people who are likely interested in what you have. And that starts to really get their heads turning. And if you can convince consumers, you can definitely convince business owners. That's all they need sometimes, is to understand, oh, you're right. Other advertising is kind of wasteful. And this seems like really smart. Okay, I didn't know you could target it. I didn't know you could send it just to specific areas or just specific incomes. That's actually really smart. And yeah, some people throw it out. Can you imagine sending 20,000 mailers out and 20,000 people responded? It's statistically impossible. All you need for a successful postcard campaign is to make it worth it. It's just that it's worth it over time. That may mean one listing in a year. That may mean 5 listings in a year. That may mean, for some businesses, that may mean 100 responses every time. It's business dependent. All that matters is that it's worth it over time. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. And it's good to see you over in Ireland. It works in Ireland too. I prefer that method of handling all objections. Many of you know, I'm going to take this banner off. Well, I'm going to leave it on. Many of you know that some of you may know, I used to catch shoplifters. I used to work for Walmart and I caught shoplifters. And this is prior to cameras were still kind of new, like the rotating cameras. So I was walking around, and I was really good at it. I was the best. And in 1 month, I had caught more people in New York State, at least, than any other Walmart in the state. I was really, really good at it. But when I was trained to be super aggressive. I was trained by this like rent-a-cop type thing. He's a state trooper now. I can only imagine what kind of buffoon he is now, but super aggressive, like ultra aggressive. And I was getting in fights constantly. I was like getting every single stop was like violent, like because it was such an aggressive way of stopping people. And then I started to get smarter, and I was like, maybe this isn't the best way. And I started talking to people like humanely. And then in the end, over time, I think I worked there for like 4 years. In the end, I had it down to this super finesse thing where I would just stop people and I would say, hey, my name's Jake. So they're exiting the door. They've just stolen something. And I say, hey, my name's Jake. I'm with loss prevention here. I said, I think you might have forgotten to pay for something. Because I thought in my head, like, if I just say that to them, it takes like the whole aggression thing off. And then they think for a second, oh, maybe I can get away with just paying this. I'm caught. And then I would say, just let's go in here and sort it out. I get them in the office. And then the cops would arrive and they wouldn't even know what was going on. They think they're probably still like going to be able to pay for this thing. And it was just such a smoother transaction. And then when I got into sales, I got fired from there. I go into sales and I learn ultra aggressive closing, like the most aggressive close. They called me the Iceman because I was the hardest, like direct close. Like I would beat people down to a pulp when it came to closing. I was the rebuttal master. Every tactic in the book I would be in people's homes for 8 hours. Like it would be brutal. And I loved it because it was fun. But over time, I'm like, this is getting kind of like, and I feel bad. I'm like, just like twisting people's words. I'm putting them in and making them pay for all this. So I started finessing things more, and I started getting way more finesse, like just convincing people. And I've made this transition, and I did this with closing as well in advertising. So the whole thing I talked about before about convincing people, I visualize it as I do not want to be on the opposite table of someone. If someone has a concern or an objection, or they're unsure about something, or they say no, I don't want to feel like I'm on this other side of them battling. If I could get on the same side of the table, if we can talk together and I can understand where they're coming from and just give them a different viewpoint without making them feel stupid or without making them like just tackling their words or tackling this objection, it goes so much smoother. Instead of trying to just throw these rebuttals and there's just haha gotcha on this one, which is what so many salespeople try to do, and it comes off as sleazy. It comes off as just, I don't know the word. It's not finesseful. If you can finesse it, and if you can put a situation in their head where they understand the difference, they understand it. Oh, this makes sense. And even better, if they can come to their own conclusions, they can actually arrive at their own conclusions. That's the best. So in these examples that I told you with telling people direct mail, I try to rapidly see what they're into. Or if I don't know their history or something, I will just default to like favorite restaurant. I will just put a situation into their head that, hey, have you ever, if you think, if someone is saying everyone throws the stuff out, if they make that comment and people throw it out, I would say, if your absolute favorite restaurant, if they sent you a postcard for buy one, get one free or something crazy, would you throw that out? No. There's people that want that certain things in the mail. They don't mind getting stuff in the mail. Junk mail we throw out. It's not relevant. It's junk. And not everyone is going to act on every single piece of advertising, but we hope that some will. And in direct mail, that percentage is much higher and other things. You would keep it if they get something they like. So if you're a business owner, there's people out there that want what you have, right? There's people that do actually want what you have. They just don't, they're not thinking of it at the time. They don't know that you're running a sale. Maybe they don't know that you exist. Maybe they're working with a competitor, and you can put your stuff in front of those people. Now with real estate, this is important because some realtors are hesitant to do campaigns because they think that they're worried about like competition and other big names and stuff. But the fact is, you have to succeed in real estate sales. You do have to grow beyond your family and friends. You can sell your family, your friends, and you can get some word of mouth from that. But there's a point where, especially if you want to grow, you're going to have to sell strangers. You're going to have to sell complete strangers. You're going to have to convince these strangers to go with you. Direct mail hits those people. You're trying to reach the people that are not assigned another realtor. They don't know another realtor, because people who know a realtor, they will probably go with that realtor. Like there's a good chance they will, and especially if they're really good friends or their family. But there's lots of people that they don't know any realtors, and they're unsure, or maybe they're just first-time home buyer. They are selling their home after 30 years. They just don't know a realtor. Those are the people that you are trying to reach. And direct mail does that so well. It gets you in front of those people. It puts a visual of you. So I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but like if you're Asian or you're Black or whatever, you may want to connect with the people who will want to connect with you. Like if you're a young Black male realtor, you may think, oh, I have a disadvantage, against this like really like prominent white realtor or something. Your target audience may be people that look similar to you. So someone who is a young Black couple, I'm just using this as an example, may get your card in the mail and say, this guy looks like me. He looks like me. And you now have a better chance theoretically of getting that business because you look like them. So that's the same for an older, I don't say older white, whatever lady. You may appeal to other older white ladies. There are different crowds and people connect with different people. And we need that as realtors. Or maybe you speak a certain language, maybe you're Hispanic, or maybe you're like, we have an area with Burmese. Like someone who's Burmese is probably likely to want to work with a realtor who speaks their language, who looks like them. So direct mail is a fantastic way to reach your target audience because people do tend to buy from people that are similar to them. Direct mail gives you that really precise kind of honing power because you can target certain neighborhoods even ethnicities, age ranges. It can be just age. You might be a young realtor. You might want to target just young people in general. Older, you speak to the older crowd, middle-aged, whatever. It's a fantastic way to reach specific audiences. I'm going to go through these comments. Oh my God, I was the best. I was the best. Hi, Sherry. Good to see you. Sherry, you emailed, I emailed you back. You're good. Sorry, lots of emails. Bruce says the postcards were sent out. Millions of realtors for posts. Yes, of course they were. But not everyone is. That doesn't mean anything, right? Because they're a new this is a new situation for them. Whether we've done a billion of them, they need to be convinced sometimes. Keeping others off the card. Yes. Especially if you got something exclusive and you're like, if you want to be the person on the community, size, relevance, key ingredients. Yeah. And then we sent out your badge card too. I think Jay, did we send out Dan Johnson's? Was that what I was supposed to send out the other day? And Chelsea just sent it out. Yeah, it's out. Dan Johnson, his ID badge that we printed, it finally went out, right? Okay. Yeah, because I didn't bring it to the post office. I should have had you bring it the other day. And just a quick thing on this. I like a lot of realtors, they'll be like, I will spend whatever. I want the biggest card out. And my default thing to always say is, if you send the same size card out, like a big side, it gets annoying. Send some small ones out, and then every few months, send another one, or do a bi-weekly mailing where 1 month you send 2 and that one is bigger. It's going to make that one look huge rather than sending an 8.5 by 11 every single time. And it starts to be annoying. Send some small ones and then send the big one, switching it up a little without changing the branding too much. Dan says, funny how my wife showed me a postcard with coupons on redemption. She called me their youngest son. It does. When you get something in the mail that you like, it's great. It's fantastic. We actually enjoy, as a whole, America and probably the world enjoys going to the mailbox, and they go every single day. It's like it's a nut. What's in the mail? There's a curiosity factor. What's in the mail? We don't get like that when we go through Facebook and we're like, oh, what Facebook ad's going to arrive in my Facebook feed today? But there's always a allure of what's going to be in the mail. It's a great place to advertise. And that's another little thing you can say. Ernie, I did get your email. Would I send? There's so much, man. I do have quoted your small flyers, but there was something else that you had asked, and I just wanted to respond, but I don't remember. I have it sitting in drafts. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that, Jonathan. See, I know. Earl says, postcard like an album, you look at the way of trash. Yes, envelopes. I'm not a fan of envelopes anymore at all. Not even the lumpy mailers or anything like that. Postcards the way to go. I mean, this is beautiful. Like, you would not want to hide a beautiful message in an envelope. Shout out to Rob Smith. I don't know if he's watching, but he did that postcard. I have an X Magazine advertising director who told me last week it was too expensive. The share cost is fantastic to tackle that objection. Yes, nice. Beautiful. And they may have had bad responses. They may have tried direct mail before and it didn't work. Sure. I mean, you may have tried. Does Facebook not work because you tried it? Does SEO not work because you tried it before? No. Maybe they didn't do it right. Maybe they didn't have the right person doing it. Direct mail is easy to screw up. Like, you can easily screw it up. You can not put an offer on there and wonder why no one responded. You have no clue. So just because someone did it before doesn't mean it doesn't work. And if it's a cost thing, which it usually is, having a shared postcard example is a perfect rebuttal. Finest institution ever, the U.S. Postal Service. I sent something to Glasgow, Scotland package, and it's in New Zealand right now. It went to Tokyo from New York. Instead of going from New York it goes to UK, it went to Japan. And now it's in New Zealand. I mean, holy crap. Too hot and lazy to steal in Arizona. I remember the month that I was up in like the top 10. They used to have a thing now that would probably be like a lawsuit, but they used to like track who was catching the most shoplifters. And I was always competing for Milwaukee. They had like this insane amount of stops. Like, they would apprehensions. They had a ton of them. And I was right up there. I was always trying to chase these guys. And Milwaukee. It's all body language. That's all that, like the catching the shoplifters. It's reading body language. You can just see their actions like before they do, because you actually have to see them do it before they take it. That was one of the elements of catching someone shoplifting. You had to see them actually take the merch. Like if you saw someone putting something in their pocket, you don't know if that was their own product or item. You don't know if they actually got. So you actually had to see them take the product off the shelf. Then you couldn't lose contact, and you're following them around the store, and it was wild. I learned a lot. I had a great time doing that. Do you remember your smooth sign ever get past the gatekeeper? I tried this one with the finger, but is the big boss in? Yeah, people say that. I've heard that too. Is the big boss in? The finger pointing, is the big boss in? Is the big boss in? I think that if you get past gatekeepers, I think a big advantage that you have is that you are a business owner as well. So if you immediately introduce yourself as another business owner, I own whatever business, X business, I say printing, because if you say marketing, it's like they instantly know you're trying to sell them something. But if you say printing, it's like it's like I own the print business down the road. I own printing business. Is the owner here? That will get you to the owner much of the time, because you're another business owner. You're not a sales rep. You're another business owner looking for the business owner. We'll restart for you. We'll restart. Oh, Tim Black made it. Holy crap. It's great to see you, Tim. This was a good episode. I hope that everyone is listening. And I said it was only going to be a half hour long. We're at 38 minutes. I was going as fast as I could. Yeah, no, I've no. And I've been through the whole, I started selling advertising for businesses, and I was a little too aggressive, and I learned real quick you cannot be like the home to home. Any of you that have done like home direct closing, you can be much more aggressive. Even if you're not an aggressive closer, you can be much more aggressive than you kind of like business owners. That will not fly. And you don't have a lot of time. You don't have the time. You have to pitch things really, really fast, get the point across really, really quick, and be very finesseful. And sometimes there's follow-ups. You don't always just close people right away. Sometimes you have to follow up, which I was not prepared for, because I was used to one call closing all the time. Yeah, you can definitely ask, is there something you really like? And that depends on I feel like on the conversations. Is there a restaurant you like? You can say that, or a brand you like. You can usually spot these things. But if sometimes you're convincing a friend or something, and you know something about them, or you see things around them that would make sense. Oh my God. It's my wife asked for what these times it brings back, and I still have nightmares. I will have a few nightmares a year of that. I had to go back to work. Sometimes I have to go back to Walmart. Sometimes this is like 20 years ago now going on since I've been there. Or I have to go back to selling home improvements and selling windows. And I have nightmares about my old boss and like getting appointments on. I have to wake up and I have to run these appointments again. I have those nightmares. It haunts me. The ice. I was the ice man. You would not believe the stuff that I would do. And then I was good at I'm gonna go off topic, but I was so bad. I was the cancellation expert. So like when people canceled, I would go and have to save the cancel. Okay, so someone cancels, and by law, then it's canceled. Like they're supposed to give you notice or whatever. It's like a cooling off period. But they would be like, okay, no problem. We just got to go there and you just got to sign the paperwork. No problem. And then they would send me in there. It was me and a guy, Kirk, and he was even better than me. But I was really good. And oh my God, I would go in these people's houses and tell them like, I mean, I'm not proud of it. I'm laughing at it now because it's so long ago and I was so young. I didn't know any better. But I would go back and be like, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. And then I would tell them I'm going to really enjoy this TV and stuff. And they'd be like, what? And I'm like, well, we're going to put a lien on your house. Like you can cancel these, but you told me you were buying these. So you're going to have to pay for these. We're just going to put a lien on your house. And I'll tell them I'm going to really enjoy this TV. I think I'm going to like this couch. I mean, I would do this like multiple times a month. Like there would probably be like 3-4 of these a month that would get to that level, and people would start freaking out. And it was wild. It was so illegal. Like you can't do that, but this company was crazy. I just did what I was trained. That's all I did. I did what I was trained. Then later I felt like this is wrong. Like, it's kind of mean. Junk is relative to people, yes. But people think, junk. Oh, it's all junk. People just, I've noticed this, people a lot from running a village Facebook group where you see all this nonsense. People think like what is stupid to them is just stupid. Like, for some people, like like something is like their like the way that I'm just using a village drama, the garbage men throw their garbage pail down, and the lid flies off. That is ultra annoying to some people. Like, that is a huge issue. Like, these people treat my garbage can like crap. My lid is down the street. I got to go get it every day. And then to other people, it'll be like, you stupid, that's all you can complain about. There's people dying over here and you're complaining about a lid on the thing. Give these guys a break. They're out working 24 hours a day. I can't believe that but then those same people will complain about some other random stupid thing that affects them. But to them, it's this huge thing. But they don't think of all the other people that had these stupid things that they thought were stupid. And it's just a human personality. We don't, people think different ways. What you think is very important is stupid to me. What I think is highly important, it has no bearing to you. So as marketers, we have to understand that behavior and maybe, I guess, help educate business owners sometimes that there are people that want their stuff and it's just a matter of reaching them. And some people won't want their stuff. So yes, you will send maybe 10,000 postcards out, maybe 1,000 postcards out. And a lot of those people, most of those people won't want it because they just don't want them. They're too busy. They have no interest in it. They're not ready at that specific time. But when they are ready, you want them to think of you, right? When they are suddenly ready, they want you to be the top of their mind. And then some of those people will be ready and it may be perfect. They get the thing in the mail, you're running a sale, they get it and they go by. You're talking about it's true. It's true. The people want to do business with who they like. Like, you may resonate with a certain, it could be race, it could be age, you could just look like someone. Like, that person looks like someone I want to do business with, whatever that is. Like, you direct mail or whatever marketing, you should be targeting that specific audience, the person that you connect with or that want to connect with you. With young, to bring that up with young real estate people, that's because you get these really young, they're 20 years old or 22 in real estate, and I get these postcards and stuff, and they're really young. And I always try to talk with them personally because I know it goes to their head. They're always worried. And this is probably if they're Black or Hispanic, it's probably even worse. They probably are thinking, I am this young person, or I'm young Black female, whatever. I am not like all these veteran pro well experienced agents. And I always try to remind them, because I know they're spending money on these cards and they're entering a field that is tough. And I always try to remind them, look, you look a certain way and there's going to be a lot of people that will connect with you. They will say, maybe they're your age, maybe they're older, and they say, I want someone young and vigorous, or someone with a lot of energy that's going to be willing to work for them. Like, there's a lot of people where they're going to want to work with you rather than the older someone that doesn't look like them, or there's a lot of people that will want to connect with you. And I just want to congratulate you for wanting to target those people, because they need that confidence. I don't know if you know, I was in the Army Reserves, and it was the weirdest situation. It was the weirdest situation. Oh my God. I was in the Army Reserves, right? Just the reserves. And I somehow got assigned instead of my local unit, which was how I avoided going to Iraq. Because I joined 98. So 2001 and stuff, pretty much everyone gets deployed. I end up assigned to this reserve unit 50 miles away in Syracuse instead of the one that's right next to me. Like, I don't know why I didn't get assigned to that. I'm 17 years old. So I joined at 17. I'm 17 years old. I come out as E3, private first class. The whole unit, it was a drill sergeant. I'm just admin, okay? Just like admin. It's just like paperwork type stuff. And the whole unit, it was a drill sergeant school, reserve drill sergeant school. And every other person was like, I think the closest rank after me was E7, which is sergeant first class. I don't even think there was E6. It was sergeant first class, and like maybe like a 40 and up, and I was 17. I mean, I'm working with a command sergeant major and a first sergeant, okay? An E9 and an E8, I think, or yeah, E8, whatever first sergeant is. And I was 17. It was the most awkward thing. It was really uncomfortable. And I kind of have flashbacks sometimes when I talk with these young realtors because it was just such a huge age gap. And because it was a drill sergeant institution, I didn't have to get deployed. Despite being able to write Arabic, I can write Arabic. Long story there. I'm not going to get into it. But I recall those times. I always think of these people that are in these industries where they're really young and they're up against these super veterans and how uncomfortable that can kind of feel. Just a side note. Yeah, ID badges, no problem. Absolutely. ID badges, NFC cards. I just had to print one for Dan all the time. Best thing to include in mail is be safe worthy. Hang it on the fridge. Yes, it's hanging on the fridge. Use that visualization all the time. Especially when you have co-op pieces and stuff, because you have like a sticky thing and then people are hanging on to it. They're putting in their account, they put it in the fridge, and they're seeing your ad all the time. I'm looking for the person in charge of being in charge. I used to work as a correctional officer in a federal prison and negotiate all the time. Yeah, definitely can turn a lot of fun. And if you have like the good cop, bad cop, that can work too. But yes, it's a balance, but you will get more. What is it? The more flies with honey than vinegar or something, for sure. Some people don't have that finesse. They're just aggressive all the time. Hi, Jim. Good to see you, Jim. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. You were military too, right? What were you? Were you Army? I want to say you're Army. I lucked out, man, not getting deployed. Then I could have deployed, and you got a bonus. Like if you voluntarily my recruiter was trying to get me to go like volunteer. He's like, you're gonna make 30,000 extra a year or something. I'm like, I ain't getting deployed, going freaking deployed. My cousin, Army. My cousin got blown up by he joined a year after I did, and we were really close, like brothers. And he went in infantry, and he got blown up by, he's fine, but he got blown in 2005, a roadside bomb blew up, and he was all messed up. He got Purple Heart, but he's physically fine, but that was crazy. He got blown up by that thing. And then they deployed him so many times. It was a disaster. They deployed him so many times, and it was a bad ending. But he's fine. He's fine. Now he's a PA. And that's the Army. I hate that. I love the Army, and I think that anyone should join this. I think it's a great thing for any. I think especially now. I just think it's a good way out rather than going college. But they do so little. At least they did then of like like once you're out, like my cousin, for example, he's infantry. He comes out E6 infantry. He's like 27 years old. It's all he knows. It's all he knows. And now you're out, you're almost 30 years old. He's got kids, and you don't know what to do. It's like coming out of prison, and there's no, like, how many jobs can the infantry? So he was a paramedic for a while, and eventually he was able to get the military to pay for his schooling, and he went to PA school and became a PA. But you're like, you don't know what you're going to do. Like, you're signing up for these things that you have no clue. You're thrown into the service, and you come out and you're in this whole other world. I wish there was more emphasis or guidance on what to do for after you come out of the service. So that's the only thing I don't like, is that you end up going in and not having a job. Like I think they should be better guided of future work. I think I'm getting my point across. federal contracts. Yeah, there's also like Sarah technically owns a business, so it's my minority. I'm an employee. But so we're also, or not minority, women owned business. I'm trying to, Tim Black's trying to do that too, because there's a lot of contracts out there that will only give to like, especially if you're minority and women, maybe weebies or whatever. If you're minority and women, there's a ton of like contracts you can get that they have to fund, give X amount of money to minority owned or women owned. I got to pursue that stuff more. I'm sure it's probably better, but still these kids, like you go in, especially you're going 17, 18 or so, it's just like college. It's the same thing as college. I mean, you're going with 17, 18, you're not thinking of the future really. And then when you're finally out, you're like, what the heck am I going to do? Do you have something that's going to transition to an actual, like a good job? Consulting's the best, where I make most of my money. Amazing. See, that's stuff I don't, it's fascinating to me, but I don't, yeah, you got to actually be one there, Bob. You're going to have some work to do. You're going to have some little work to do. I sent yours. No, I have your stickers. I have them sitting right over here. I'm going to send them out. I have them sitting right over on another desk. 9x12 is still, yeah, you're going to want the mastery series, 9x12 or highresponse.com/9x12, the mastery series. I put that out at 5 sections. You can buy them separately. If there's a certain topic that you want to cover, they're independent, but they all work together really. If you want the full thing, you can also get that at a discount. Absolutely. I hope everyone has enjoyed this. I should probably start signing off. It was a good show. I thought I was going to be able to do it in a half hour, but I guess I can't. And I do need to make a, do you want to see a sticker? Let me grab it. I know I got them here. Who else do I have? I have some other big sticker. Yeah, today was it still is. My email's probably blowing up. I got them all ready to send to you. Here's Bob Lyle stickers. There you go. Wait, I have to cover my eye and then it'll focus, or it should. It must not think this is my eye or something. Wait, there. Can you see it there? There's Bob's stickers. There you go. They're all mine. They're going out today. Don't worry. Thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you. And thank you. Thank you. I'm going to make this into a regular video on how to tackle it too. Okay, guys. Great time. I'm going to see you throughout the week. I got to go tackle my email inbox now. Thank you, Lloyd. I appreciate seeing you on here. And Earl and Tim. Great to see you, Tim. We didn't see Scott Meisner today, but it's all right. Okay, have a good night. Great day, everybody.